Boo! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at it's sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounces. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thought, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? And make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? And make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? And make profits. That TTG money gang. And making profits. We some.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Loder Pernati. I go by Michael Loder. I'm the co-founder and head trader at True Trading Group. In case you guys didn't know, we are the Benzinga FinTech Awards recipient for Best AI Analysis Tool in 2024. We are just honored, honestly, to see companies and industry leaders like Benzinga recognizing what it is that we are doing, implementing AI technology into the True Trading Group platform to help all of our members make more money, help them become better traders. There's my business partner and I actually at the Benzinga Global FinTech Awards ceremony, receiving that award just a few months ago in New York City. It was a lot of fun, it was a wonderful time, and it really is nice to be able to say we truly have an award-winning AI tool, an AI trading assistant that helps our members make more money. At the end of the day, that's why you guys are all here. But it's not just about awards. We're also the fastest growing and highest rated premium online education platform that combines university level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, live workshops, individual mentorship and coaching for stocks, options, crypto, and futures. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term investing. There's literally something for everyone here at True Trading Group. You might be wondering, why should you listen to anything it is that we discuss on this channel or that I discuss on this channel? And it's because I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. It's not because I believe that I'm the world's greatest trader. It's that I was trained by professionals on Wall Street. My first job out of college was working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. They had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the fund's money. And then 2008 happened. That was the big recession, the huge stock market crash. But it was also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group, and along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff, we have helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. True Trading Group has over 10,000 members in 114 different countries. Truly a global community here at TTG. Like I said, there is literally something for everyone. So if you guys are ready to learn trading and profit for real, you've come to the right place. 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, we go live on this channel with myself, other mods, and special guests. We'll drop golden nuggets, give you free lessons, education, trade ideas, market commentary, and analysis to help you guys all become better traders, help you guys all make money. So if you haven't done so yet, smash that like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, make sure you guys never miss out on any of these live streams because we do drop those golden nuggets on a regular basis. The markets continue their sell-off, right? You had a big, massive red day to kick off the week on Monday. We dropped over 1,000 points yesterday on the Dow. The NASDAQ was down over 4%. The S&P was down around 3%. Just a huge red day in the markets yesterday. It was actually the worst day in the NASDAQ since the 2022 crash. And 2022 was a crash. And 2022 was a bear market. What you've experienced so far is not bad. And it might feel like that. It's not. The S&P just barely tapped. It gave a little kiss to correction territory today. Correction territory is down 10% from your recent high. And we reached it today on the S&P and then very quickly came right out of it. Now, the NASDAQ has been in correction territory, fell into correction last week. And it went all the way down to down 14% or so. And continued, honestly, with a little bit more downside here today. So this is the NASDAQ that I got put up. Well, the Qs of the ETF of the NASDAQ. And this, you can see this big double top, and then there's your pullback. And what everybody really wants to know is this a pullback that is viable? Because, when you look at what happened over the course of 2022, you had this extended sell-off in 2022 where the NASDAQ sold off literally the entire year and then closed the year right down near lows. and had the massive explosion that was the AI rally from 23 into 24. And then you got this big pullback that's occurring now off of this double top. When I gauge what's going on with the overall markets, I take a look at the S&P. The S&P is everything. It is the market, 500 companies, 500 of the biggest companies that are in the U.S. markets. And it's all different sectors and all different categories. Obviously, the NASDAQ is dominated by all technology stocks. The S&P is going to give you guys exposure to the markets as a whole. And we came into 2025 expecting a correction. What we're experiencing right now in the markets is not something that is a surprise to us. It is not something that has caught us off guard. It is not something that is necessarily making us nervous or making us scared, because this is something that we anticipated coming into 2025. I publish a market outlook report every year for our members. Last week of December, first week of January, that report comes out. It's free for all of our members. And we had in that report talking about expecting a correction this year. A correction by definition is a 10 to 19% decline off of your highs. Okay. We are not in a correction yet on the S&P. We tapped it today for literally just a couple of minutes. We were down 10%. And then we bounced from that low to take us off of correction. We were only there for about maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. We were sitting at correction territory, and then we bounced off of it. So I still do think that there's more room to the downside on this market. What I will tell you, though, is this. We are extremely oversold. Nothing goes down in a straight line. And I have been looking for signs of a near-term tradable bottom. We haven't quite had it yet. You had some news headlines that came out today that really had this market whipsawing around. Today was a very, very choppy day in the market. You were up and you were down, then you were up and you were down, then you were back up, then you were back down. It's been a wild last month or so of trading when you go from the middle of February until now sitting here the beginning to middle of March. We're going to talk today about what those news headlines were today. We're going to talk about whether or not we should be adding in our long-term portfolio or if we should wait. And we're going to talk about how we made money today. And we're going to talk about how I think we're going to make money tomorrow. At the end of the day, it's what you guys care about. We're not on this YouTube channel to talk about anything other than how we're going to make money in the market. I don't necessarily care whether or not that there is a recession. I don't believe that there is going to be. I don't believe that the S&P is going to fall into a bear market. I do think the S&P is going to have a real nice run-of-the-mill growth scare correction. And when that takes place, which I believe you're going to see over the course of the next month or so, I'm going to be adding stuff in my long-term portfolio. I'm going to be buying things in my long-term portfolio. Now, there is something that will make that wrong. There is something that would make that statement that I just said incorrect and could lead the markets into a bear market. But I'm going to be buying before that happens. I've made it very vocal. I'm very vocal about it. I tell everybody inside of True Trading Group. I tell you guys on this YouTube channel. Like I said, we're not just day trading and swing trading. We also cover long-term investing on this channel as well. And I tell you guys what I'm doing with my own money. And you can take that information and do with it whatever that you please. But I've been on this YouTube channel for years now, years. And during the COVID crash of 2020, I was screaming at the top of my lungs on every single live stream. You can go back and watch them, March and April of 2020. And I was telling everybody, I am loading up the truck. Okay. I'm backing up the truck and I'm loading it and I'm driving my ass out of there. And I was a big buyer in 2020. It turned out to be the right move. At the end of 2021, again, right here on this YouTube channel, I was selling my long-term portfolio. I took down about 50% of my portfolio off between September and October of 2021. As 2022, the highest conviction trade of my entire 18-year plus career was that the markets were going to go down in a big way in 2022 as the Fed began raising rates for the first time since over a decade that the Fed really, we've had zero interest rates essentially since the '08 financial crisis. So you're talking about almost 2 decades of interest rates near zero, and all of a sudden the Fed's going to embark on this rate hike cycle. And I had really high confidence that the market's going to go down, and they did go down. And I was a very aggressive buyer in 2022. I was an aggressive buyer during the Japanese yen carry trade in 2024. I'm not an aggressive buyer right now, but I will be very soon. Okay, I will be soon. I think over the course of the next couple of weeks, you're probably going to start to see me allocate some money into some positions and into some stocks that I really, really like. I want to make sure that you guys can just all hear me though first, real quick. You guys do me a favor, type the number 7 if you can hear me. Just do me a favor. You guys just type the number 7 if you can hear me. And make sure everybody presses the live. Make sure you guys are watching this video live. That's the other thing. So you're right there at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. You got to make sure that you guys are watching this live. Yeah, you should see a little red dot. Okay. You guys should see a red dot next to the word live. Perfect. Let me ask real quick, how many members have been part of True Trading Group since 21 or 22? Maybe type the number 1 if you've been a member since 21 or 22. If you've been a member since 21 or 22, do me a favor, guys, type the number 1. $2020, nice. So many of you, Zach, 2020. Yeah, a lot of you. A lot of you been here for a while. A lot of you been here for a long time. And if you guys are not a member of True Trading Group, if you're not a member, can you guys type the letters TTG for me, please? I want to see how many are here because I need you all to hear this next part. I need you all to hear this next part. So if you're not a member, can you guys just type the letters TTG, please? If you're not a member. I wish my portfolio would be very different. Yeah. That's why a lot of people, their biggest regret is not joining True Trading Group sooner. That's actually most people's regret when they do join TTG. Nobody actually regrets joining. They actually just regret that they didn't join sooner. So we got Scott, we got Paul, Normal, Gina, Burke, Diamond, WB. I'm sorry, it's an 8, W8. Nice. Yeah, it's good. And again, make sure you guys click the live button. Make sure you're watching the video live. Nice. Ghost Money joined December of 22. Best Christmas gift you ever bought for yourself. If only I joined sooner, I could be a full-time trader by now. Just need a little bit more time. Yeah, you're on your way there. Just patience, K. You're on your way there. Sammy and Pickle joined Friday because I'm tired of my income being dependent on others. That's what I'm talking about. It's funny. Yeah, people think that they have security, and if you work for somebody else and you're dependent on somebody else to earn your income, you don't have any security. I got a question for everybody, and just follow me here because I have a point. True or false? Do you have infinite time or infinite money? True or false? You have infinite time or infinite money? True or false? Just let you guys respond. Obviously, I know the answer. The answer is false, obviously, right? Nobody has infinite money. Nobody has infinite time. So the answer is false. Everybody knows that. How many of you can day trade without worrying about anything during the day? Quick show of hands. Type the number 1 if you can day trade without worrying about anything during the day. You don't have to worry about work. You don't have to worry about family. You don't have to worry about any other distractions. Type the number 1 if you can day trade without having to worry about anything. No work, no family, no distractions. Type the number 1 if that's you. If you can day trade with no distractions, no work, no family, no nothing. Oh, nice. Sam says, I could recently due to your trader precision classes. You'll be happy to know I decided to finish all the courses before trading with real money. I do like that. I really do like that a lot. I wish more people would do that. Listen, I get it. When people join True Trading Group, they're very excited. It's a very exciting time. You know, you should be excited when you join True Trading Group. But, oh, nice. Yeah, you're Eric. You're Eric. Nice. All right. So some of you can day trade without any other distractions, but not a lot, not many of you. Right. So look, long-term investing, in my opinion, is an absolute must. Not up for debate. Okay. So many people think that, you know, True Trading Group or some of these other things is all about day trading. And it's not, right? It's not just about day trading, right? We do day trading, we do swing trading, there's scalping, there's long-term investing. You like variety, right? It's not just one thing. It's literally Baskin Robbins, man. Right? I don't know about you guys. I like to switch things up, except for the crazy people out there that only eat chocolate chip mint ice cream. I'll never understand it. I'm not in the chocolate. I don't know why so many people like chocolate chip mint ice cream. I don't. Get a different flavor. It's literally the worst flavor in the whole entire ice cream parlor. Get a different flavor. That's my opinion. Get something different. Get a different flavor. Crazy maniacs. But anyway, it's not just about day trading, guys. And when you come into, you know, the environment that we find ourselves in right now, like when we come into the environment that we find ourselves in right now, I don't care what your time availability is. I don't care how much money that you have. I don't care what your distractions are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care about whatever job and your limitations, this and that. What everybody should be focusing on right now is finally the markets are coming in, and finally you're going to be able to buy the greatest stocks that are going to lead us through the next decade of a technological revolution in AI. You're going to be able to finally buy those stocks at normal valuations. Everybody is running around like a chicken with their head cut off and their pants on fire because the markets went down 10%. Who the hell cares? Do you realize that the markets went up 25% last year, and you realize the markets went up 23% the year before that, and we're sitting here worrying about the markets going down 10%? I have news for everybody that's on this live stream. I think that the markets are going to go down a little further. I don't think that the bottom is in yet. I think the next month or two could be even more volatile, and I think the markets could go down a little bit more. But am I sitting here trying to say that, oh, the world is going to end and there's going to be not a recession, there's going to be a Great Depression, and AI technology is just a fad and it's just a complete bust, and it's not, it's, you know, it's all hype and it's nothing legitimate? Absolutely not. Every single person that was crying that they missed out on Palantir. They missed out on NVIDIA. They missed out on all of these companies. They missed out on all of these stocks. Well, you have nothing to complain about now because all of these stocks that were trading at ridiculous valuations, and I wrote about it in my market outlook report. In my report, the very first part of the report is stocks are really expensive coming into 2025. I go, guys, stocks are very expensive. And that doesn't leave much room for error. One little slip up, one little growth scare, that means there's a lot of room to the downside for a correction, not a bear market. I think we're going to have a correction. If I'm wrong about that and we actually have a bear market, it's probably because tariffs were on for too long. I'm hopeful that tariffs come on. They don't stay very long. Tariffs come off. The Russia-Ukraine war ends. The Fed starts cutting rates in the summer. And the second half of the year, the markets start to move back to the upside on a backdrop of deregulation, low oil, inflation coming back down, tariffs are off, and the Fed starts cutting rates. If I'm wrong about that, then that means that tariffs are still here and inflation is maybe being real sticky and stubborn, and the Fed can't cut rates, in the second half of the year, and then the economy falls into a recession. So that's the wild card that could potentially make my call incorrect. Okay. So how many of you bought Apple and Tesla and NVIDIA and CrowdStrike and Palo Alto and Meta and Amazon and Salesforce and ServiceNow and Oracle and Cloudflare and all of these? How many of you bought those companies when they were trading at their lows in 2022? How many bought those stocks at the lows in 2022? I know all of my TG members did. You want to know how I know that? Because I did. And I'm very vocal when I add stuff in my long-term portfolio, and I tell all of my members when that action takes place. So cool. How many people bought them at the lows? Not many. Well, how many of you would want to? I think you are going to get a chance to buy these stocks at valuations that are reset. There was a lot of froth. There was a lot of excess in these stocks, and it's starting to come off. And you're going to be able, with some of these stocks, you're going to be able to buy these stocks at prices that you saw a couple of years ago. So if you were complaining that you did not buy those stocks a couple of years ago, and you watch those stocks go up hundreds of %, then I do not want to hear you complaining about those stocks going back into the price points that you wished that you owned a month ago. A month ago, you would have prayed to the gods above to buy Palantir at 75. A month ago, you'd have prayed to the gods above to buy NVIDIA at $100. You would have prayed to buy Meta at 570. You would have prayed to have bought Tesla at 220. You would have prayed a month ago. Now, today, those stocks have come back into those prices, and now all of a sudden nobody wants to touch them. This is why every time the markets go down, you do not capitalize and you do not own the stocks that end up rallying over the course of the next several years. Now, let me make myself very clear. I'm not saying to go all in right at this very moment. I do believe the markets have more downside to come over the next month or two. But I don't believe it's going to turn into this massive end of days crash, and I'm going to be buying it. So if you missed your opportunity in 2022 and 2023, and you had to sit back and watch the markets just fly to all-time highs without you, now you're starting to get a pullback. You cannot let this market drop all the way back in and you do nothing because you're scared, because for the first time in a while, the markets are going to have a real correction. Corrections are normal. Corrections are anything from a 10 to 19% drop. The average drawdown of a correction is around 14%. You want to know how often corrections happen? Every 1.3 to 1.4 years, there's a correction. So what you're seeing happen right now is a textbook run-of-the-mill growth scare correction. Now, I understand that every bear market starts out as a correction. I'm not ignoring that. I'm not ignoring the negatives that are out there. I'm not ignoring the fact that the economy is slowing. I'm not ignoring the fact that tariffs could potentially push prices higher. I'm not ignoring any of these things. What I'm just telling you is that there's going to be an opportunity here to buy a basket of stocks that are going to lead the next technological revolution, like what you saw with the creation of the internet. I believe AI technology is going to have that type of an impact on technology and on our everyday lives. The internet worked its way into every aspect of your life. AI is going to work its way into every aspect of your life. And I don't want to hear anybody try to make the comparison of, oh, but the internet had the dot-com bubble. Dot-com bubble, you can't compare the dot-com bubble to what's happening now, because the dot-com bubble, those were companies that didn't earn. They had no earnings. They had no positive cash flow. Some of them had no revenue. They all had no profit. They were just literally these shells of companies that said that I have a website. And they came out, and 90% of the companies on the NASDAQ ended up going out of business. That's why the NASDAQ popped and went down 75%, because they were the riskiest, smallest, most immature companies that the stock market had to offer at that time. At that time, the biggest companies in the stock market were McDonald's, Chevron, and those type of companies. Okay. And it wasn't the companies that you have today. Today, the NASDAQ makes up the biggest, most mature, most profitable, highest earning companies in the world. The companies that are operating in AI are some of the most profitable, fastest growing companies on earth. These are not companies that don't generate profit. These are not companies that don't have free cash flow. These are not companies that don't have positive earnings. It's not the same. You're not going to see that type of a bubble pop like you saw during the dot-com bubble. That's what's going to happen here. What's going to happen here is that the froth is getting removed. The froth is getting popped. That bubble of hype and speculation and excessive growth is getting popped. And these stocks are coming back down to reasonable valuations. But that doesn't change the fact that over the next decade, AI is going to continue to advance and continue to change your life in every single possible way you could imagine, in every single possible way that you cannot yet fathom. I want to own those companies for the next 10 years, for the next 15 years. I don't care about what happens in the next 2 months or what happens in the next 3 months. I don't care about any of that. And the best thing about it is that people that are inside of True Trading Group, some people might say, well, but if we have a recession, I'm worried about my job. You know what? If you rely on somebody else to pay your bills, you should worry about it, because that means you have no security whatsoever. And your livelihood is dependent on somebody else. And that sucks. The best thing that I can say about people in True Trading Group, one of the best things that I think they would all agree with, is that when you become a member of True Trading Group and you learn how to consistently make money in any market environment, that is freeing. That is true security. Knowing that no matter what happens in the economy, no matter what happens with your job, you are going to be able to generate enough income trading to pay your bills. That is real security. And if you can generate income and pay your bills and not have to worry about anybody else to do that, to take care of you and your family, that is the greatest gift and the greatest achievement that anybody could experience. And then you use that profit, you use that income to roll it into your long-term portfolio, to buy the best companies on planet Earth, to take advantage of the next technological revolution for the next 10 years. That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about. And you might think that I'm just talking out of my ass. I'm not. I'll show you that I'm not just talking out of my ass. Everything I'm saying to you right now is 100% fact. I'm going to prove it to you. Members of True Trading Group that are on this live stream right now, I know there's many of you here. Type the number 1 if you're making money. Type the number 1 if you guys are becoming better traders and investors with True Trading Group. Type the number 1 right now if you guys are doing that. Anybody that's on this live stream, anybody that here was like, oh man, the markets are tanking. Let me go on and watch this live stream. Maybe this guy's going to tell me that the world is ending and maybe I should sell all my stuff. That's not what you're going to get from me. What you're going to get from me is our members make money. That's what you're going to get from me. You're going to get from me, I don't care whether or not the markets go down further. I want them to go down further because we'll make money on the way down. And then we're going to take that money, we're going to roll it into our long-term portfolio, and we're going to buy some of the best companies to lead the AI revolution at reasonable valuations finally. Exactly why I joined. My family means too much to me to live with uncertainty. There it is. My boy Dave made $2,000 today. Great job, Dave. Great job, man. It was a great day today. It was a great day today inside of True Trading Group, right? I made great money on Tesla. I made great money on Meta today. Was 2 for 2 today. That's just me. But we have 8 other professional traders that are moderators in True Trading Group. They all had great days too. This is what I mean, but it's not just day trading. We swing trade. We do long-term investing. We do all of it. Thanks for your Tesla. So nice, Dave. Is that where you made the money on my Tesla trade? Nice, man. Great job. Yeah, we had some really great analysis on Tesla today. Textbook liquidity grab underneath 220. And as soon as you liquidity grabbed underneath 220, we took the trade actually long. I got long at 222. Members bought the call options, and we just rode this thing all the way up to the high of the day, 237 from 222. It was a beautiful trade for us. And members obviously on some call options. I was in the equity, but a great trade. And I'm hunting. I'm hunting for this bottom, because when the market's put in a tradable bottom, you're going to snap back like a rubber band. You're going to get like a 1.5 or 2% green day in the market, and you're going to get all these stocks that got beaten to crap over the last month. They're all going to shoot up 10% in a day, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there for that move. But I think that bounce is just a relief rally, and I do think that it then runs out of steam, rolls back over, and then sells back to the downside as we lead into the April 2nd reciprocal tariff. But we can talk more about that at another time. Right now, the most important thing is, are you taking advantage? Are you set up to capitalize on the opportunity that is unfolding before your eyes? If the answer is no, you better get your ass in gear, because it's happening. It's here. It's right now. You just saw how many members of True Trading Group are making money with us. You're sitting here watching a live stream worried about if you're going to lose your job and if you should sell your long-term portfolio. And you just watched 1,000 members from True Trading Group tell you that they're having a grand old time. They're having a blast. They're not worried. They're not scared. They're not concerned. They're excited. And you must be thinking, these people must be out of their freaking mind. What's exciting about this? What's exciting about a trade war? What's exciting about a recession? What's exciting about a bear market? What's exciting about Tesla going down 55%? What's exciting is that it's volatility, and volatility creates day trading and swing trading opportunities for us to make money. And then that leaves you with long-term buying opportunities. That's what's exciting about it. Stock market's open regardless. It's the truth. 219% between yesterday and today. My boy Burke, great job, man. Congrats. Ghost Money was 2 for 2 on the SPY. Carmen is having a blast trading futures with us in the futures room. We trade futures too. Stocks, options, and futures. Listen to me very carefully. Those of you that are not members of True Trading Group, I can't make myself any more clearer than this, okay? If you guys are interested in joining TTG, I know this is a crazy time. I know some people are nervous. Text True Trading Group right now with your name, your email, and the letters TTG. We'll give you all the information you need. We'll answer all of your questions. We will tell you all what you get with your membership. True Trading Group is an entire fintech platform. It is not just a chat room with trade alerts and courses. Okay, been there, done that. There's a reason why we received the Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. There's a reason why we have a data partnership agreement with the NASDAQ. There's a reason why the NASDAQ invited my business partner and I down to the NASDAQ to tour the facility, witness the closing bell, and then put our business, our company name and logo up on their big LED screen in the middle of Times Square to congratulate us on signing that data partnership agreement. It's because industry leaders are taking notice of what we are doing with retail traders. Send a text message right now to 1-888-621-2127. The phone number is at the bottom of your screen. 1-888-621-2127. It's that simple. Send a text message. And that text message could potentially put you in a situation that you're going to look back a couple years from now and say, that was the most important text message I've ever sent in my entire life. Because that is exactly how members of True Trading Group feel. Members of TTG, type the number 2 if you think that joining True Trading Group was one of the best decisions that you've made in your life financially? Type the number 2. Am I exaggerating? Am I making this stuff up? If you're a member of True Trading Group and you feel that joining True Trading Group was one of the best financial decisions you have ever made in your life, type the number 2 inside of chat. And every single person that's on this live stream that is not a member, a text message is all that stands in your way right now. 1-888-621-2127. I know I talk a big game on this YouTube channel. I back it up with my own money. We actually offer you double your money back guarantees at TTG. So when you guys join, if you can't make your membership fee back at least once during your membership, we actually give you back double your money. That's how much we believe in our platform, and it's a deal to help you guys reach your goals. We have over 10,000 members in 114 different countries with a retention rate in the mid-70s. Our refund rate is less than 2.5%. Hence the award from Benzinga, hence the partnership and the recognition from the NASDAQ. If all of our member base was failing, do you think we would have these type of relationships? No. Results matter. And that's exactly what we focus on. So send a text, 1-888-621-2127. The phone number is right at the bottom of your screen. Don't wait another minute. I'm about to start buying in my long-term portfolio over the course of the next couple of weeks. You do not have much time. Since I joined, I'm improving every year. My boy Kirk, great job, man. Hank says, sign up now in all caps. It's worth it. Not one of the best. It is the best, says Chiefess. James says, it gave me a new career. Ted Breath thinks I'm a psychic. I don't know what the CPI number is going to be tomorrow. I don't care. I'm not a psychic. You guys might think that being a good trader is about being psychic. It's not. Now, everybody has their guesses. Everybody can guess, oh, what's the CPI number going to be tomorrow? I don't know. Let's all take a guess. Someone's going to be right. Someone's going to be wrong. That doesn't mean that you're smarter than the other person. I don't guess on economic data points. That's not my job. My job is to understand what's the market reaction going to be to this data point. If the CPI number comes in at 3.3, what's the market's reaction? If it comes in 3.1, what's the market's reaction? If it comes in 2.8, what's the market's reaction? And then I'm going to wait and I'm going to see at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, what's the CPI number? Great. Now I know what the CPI number is. What do I think the market's reaction is going to be? Now I'm going to position myself to make money from it. I'm not going to just put a position on, close my eyes, cross my fingers, cross my toes, and clench my butt cheeks and hope that I'm right. If you want to gamble and you want 50-50 odds, go to Vegas and put your money on red or black. I don't gamble with my money. When I put myself in a trade, it's because the probability of me winning that trade is 75% or higher. That is what I do. I identify high probability opportunities in the market, and I put myself on the right side of that probability over and over and over again with good, sound, solid risk management. Because I'm not going to be right every time. I'm going to lose sometimes. And when I'm wrong and I lose money, I make sure that I lose a small amount. But when I am right, I'm going to push that mother effort into the ground, and I'm going to capitalize. I'm going to maximize on those profits. A lot of people, when they're right, they make less money than they lose when they're wrong. You can't do that. You've got to make more money when you're right than you lose when you're wrong. My boy Louis says, Mike, a lot of people I know are complaining about their 401k and 529 plans are down so much lately. I look at my long-term and I'm positioned correctly because of TTG. That's what I'm talking about. That's why we issue these long-term market outlook reports. These outlook reports that I issue to our members every year tell you exactly what I think the markets are going to do and what sectors I think are going to be best and what stocks I'm going to be buying. And we've been able to do that for the last 5 years. I came into this year and I said, I think the Mag 7 are really in jeopardy this year. I said that I think you're better off in a market, an equal weighted ETF, which is the RSP rather than the SPY, because the S&P is a market cap weighted ETF, meaning what the biggest market cap stocks in the S&P do will have a greater impact than what the overall market does, rather than an equal weighted ETF is all 500 stocks are weighted equally. So if you have the bottom part, the smaller companies of the S&P, if they go up, but Apple and Microsoft and Amazon and Alphabet and Tesla and Nvidia and Meta, if they all go down, then the S&P is going to go down with it. It doesn't matter what the other 493 are doing. And so far, that strategy has worked out beautifully. You are outperforming the market by a lot if you're in an RSP equal weighted ETF than if you are in a market cap weighted ETF. That's just one example. But we came into this year saying we expect a correction. So that prevented any of our members from buying stocks at all-time highs when the valuations just didn't make any sense. In that Market Alert report, we discussed that the market was trading at 22 times forward PE. That's historically extremely high. A 26 times trailing PE, historically extremely high. Those need to come off. They need to come off. That excess valuation needs to come off, and you're in the middle of it. It's a growth scare. It's a correction. They don't feel good. They're not supposed to feel good. But when it doesn't feel good, that's when you are left with and you are presented with really good long-term buying opportunities. And I think over the course of the next several weeks, we are going to have that. You got to get your ass off the sidelines now. Send the text 1-888-621-2127. Let's talk about some of these. And honestly, but I got to remind you again, what do you have to lose? Send the text. We offer a double your money back guarantee to give you peace of mind and to hold us accountable. Send the text, ask about the double your money back guarantee. We're an open book. We're fully transparent. Anything you want to know, text that number. Let's talk about some of the trades from today. Tesla. In case you've been living under a rock, Tesla has gotten the crap kicked out of it for the last 2 months. Okay? Down 55%. And today, we caught a nice, beautiful long. Why? I'll tell you why. Let's draw a line across this level right here of 220. Okay? Now, I'm not making this number up. I'm not picking it out of thin air. You take a look at the 220 level, and you can see this used to be a level of resistance back here in October. And it's this gap fill from this big gap up day from the late October when I think there was an earnings. And that's a potential support level. Well, we dropped into it yesterday. And yesterday was such an excessive sell-off. It was insane. You know, did the fundamentals of Tesla really change 15% down or 18% down in one day? Of course not. It's just momentum and it is sentiment on Tesla. And the stock had this massively oversold, exaggerated candle to the downside right into a support level. And then coming into the markets today, we got what's called a liquidity grab. And it is textbook. And it stops out all of your inexperienced retail traders. And then the big money steps in and buys. And that's exactly what we did. And that's how we were able to capitalize and make some money. Here is yesterday's low. There's yesterday's lows on test. You can see the bloodbath of the day yesterday. Today, you opened up, shot higher, pulled back, and then look at this tail. See this tail right there through that level? So you went right through yesterday's support, tailed through it, big volume surge. You can see that big volume surge right there. Strong tail through and then recover right back up. As soon as I saw that tail, I go, that is an absolute textbook liquidity grab. And with the help of our level 3 data, which shows institutional order flow and identifies institutional order flow over instead of retail order flow, hence the partnership agreement we have with the NASDAQ, we were able to determine that that was a liquidity grab and we thought the markets were going to move higher. Well, that Tesla was going to move higher. So I went ahead and we jumped in long right there at 222, following that liquidity grab bottom tail, and we caught this beautiful move all the way back up into the high of the day, and it was just a pure thing of beauty. Quick little day trade. I didn't swing it because we got CPI inflation data tomorrow, so I was able to catch a 10-point or a 15-point move. We got into 222. We went all the way to 237. So we caught a 15-point move on Tesla, took our profits and ran. Because tomorrow we have inflation data. I don't know what that inflation data is going to be, and I wanted to just lock in this profit, and I'll come into tomorrow with a fresh, clean slate and seeing what we're willing to do once I know what the CPI number actually is. Okay, so safest place for profit is where? In your pocket, right? That was Tesla. And then I went after Meta today as well. Like I said, today I came into today saying, hey, the markets are oversold. I'm looking for that tradable bottom. So I went after some stocks that I believed were holding up relative. I went after another stock that I believe was holding up relatively well, and that is Meta. So Tesla was more of a, hey, I think this is oversold. And Meta was more of a, hey, this is relatively strong. So Meta, after having 20 green days in a row, you've taken back all of that rally from January into February when I experienced 20 green days in a row. Okay. You got this you got this big pullback here from February down into where we are now. And this level was a big level for us. Resistance back here in October and November. Then it became support December and January. And then you dropped and fell right back down into that level. So I said, you know what? If today the market's going to try to bounce, right? If they're going to try to bounce, then I think that this stock might try to recover a little bit, right? I think it might try to recover a little bit. And that's exactly what happened. This wasn't a huge trade for us. I went after this thing really early. I went after this thing early in the morning, and then we just took profits right up here into the afternoon. And again, I wanted to get out before the close, and we did. We got out before the close because the CPI report tomorrow, and I don't want to be exposed in a downtrend going into a CPI report. I don't want to be exposed long. If I had maybe a long position and a short position, I had a little bit more of a hedge on, and I didn't have one way liability or one way exposure, maybe I would treat it a little bit differently. But I said, listen, if we're going to try to bounce back today, I'm going after Tesla, which is oversold, and I'm going after Meta, which is relatively strong. But we still really couldn't find our footing today. Some news headlines from today. What were they? Today was nuts. You got job openings this morning at 10 o'clock that were stronger than expected. 7.5 million. We were only expecting 7.6 and change. So more job openings than initially expected. That was good for the market. But at the exact same moment, literally within 30 seconds, there was news that Trump was going to add an additional 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum on Canada, which would bring the tariff on steel and aluminum up to 50%. The markets didn't like that. We then traded back to the downside. Right here is when that news broke, and we traded back to the downside on that. Okay. Then you got some news right here that the U.S. and Ukraine have come to an agreement for a 30-day truce and a 30-day ceasefire. Now you just need Russia to agree, but the U.S. and Ukraine has agreed to the proposal that the United States gave. Marco Rubio was in Saudi Arabia. The Saudis are acting as a mediator through the negotiations between the United States and Ukraine and Russia. And it was a 9-hour meeting between the U.S. and Ukrainian officials, and they agreed on terms. And Ukraine is saying, yep, we agree to the ceasefire. Now it's up to Russia. If Russia agrees to the ceasefire, that's going to be really good. We can end that fighting at least for 30 days. And hopefully during that time period, they can work towards a more broader agreement of peace and to actually end the conflict, which I think everyone can agree would be a really good thing if we can end that, obviously from a humanitarian side, but then also from an economic side. If that war comes to an end, that can, you can relieve some of the oil sanctions on Russia that can allow Russian oil to flood back into the global supply unhindered, and that brings down the price of oil, which also helps to bring down inflation, which would allow the Fed to start cutting rates to help out an economy that's worried about tariffs and a growth slowdown and everything else, and to help avoid recession. So that is something that would be a very good thing if we can get that conflict to come to an end. So the markets then started to rally in the afternoon on the back of that news. Then you also had news in the middle of the day, also that came out during kind of similar time as that Ukraine news, that Harry Lutnick spoke to Doug Ford. Doug Ford is the premier of Ontario, Canada. He's the one that was saying about putting additional tariffs on electricity that comes into the United States, and also threatens to shut off the electricity that they send to the United States, which would be New York, Massachusetts, and Minnesota, I think, are the states that get some of their electricity from Canada. I know it's 3 states. I know New York is one of them. I think it's Massachusetts and Minnesota, but I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on those others. But yeah, they spoke, and they came to an agreement that they were not going to do the tariff on electricity. They're not going to shut off electricity, and that allowed Donald Trump to say, okay, well, I'm not going to double the tariff on aluminum and steel. That was threatened earlier this morning, and that allowed the markets to kind of relieve some of that pressure and allowed the markets to move higher. So a lot of news headlines today. Job openings better than expected, then tariff news not good, then tariff news good, and then Ukraine news potentially good. So we got to see what happens with the CPI number tomorrow. You know, it's possible that the markets can try and bounce well, here's the other thing. Doug Ford is coming to Washington, D.C. in 2 days. So he's going to sit down with Lutnick and the trade representatives from the U.S. Hopefully that meeting goes well. You know, but here's the thing that you guys have to remember. Canada is in a weird situation where, you know, Trudeau was out. They selected this other guy to lead the party. You know, so you don't have that real stable prime minister leadership to negotiate for the entire country. Right now, you actually have the premiers of all the different provinces, which would be like similar to in the United States, like a governor of a state. They have premiers of their province, and they are negotiating for their own provinces instead of someone negotiating, you know, across for the entire country. So, you know, we got to get that dialogue has got to get moving so we can possibly avoid reciprocal tariffs on April 2nd. But still, nonetheless, it's good that Doug Ford is going to be coming to Washington in 2 days, and hopefully that meeting goes well, and maybe they can agree on adjusting terms from the USMCA, and they could avoid any type of a reciprocal tariff. That's the hope. The hope is that we can avoid reciprocal tariffs on April 2nd. We'll see. Okay, but that could potentially be a positive news headline. If Moscow agrees to the 30-day ceasefire, that could be a positive headline. If the CPI inflation number comes in lighter than expected, that could be a positive headline. But these are all ifs. I don't know how they're going to play out. This is the things that are out there. We as traders have to be ready. We have to be nimble, and we have to act, okay, with the information that we have, and then, you know, try to make the smartest decisions that we can and put ourselves in high probability situations. And that's it. All right. And we're going to do just that. We had a great day today, really great trades. And the opportunity it's right here. It's right now. It's not a year from now. It's right here. It's right now. Do you guys yourself a favor, send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. Okay. Send your name, your email, and the letters TTG. The phone number is right at the bottom of your screen. We'll tell you everything that's included in your membership, all the tools and resources, all the bells and whistles that you're going to get with your membership. We'll tell you all about it. We have a double your money back guarantee. It's based on your ability to make back your membership fee. So send a text message, talk to us about that. We'll tell you all the details regarding that. And I also have a very special surprise for anyone that sends in a text message. We've got a special little gift for those of you that would like to send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. Okay, the phone number again, right there at the bottom of your screen. So text that number, and we'll answer all the questions that you guys have. All right. So that's it, folks. There you guys have it. Another great day in the markets. The volatility is still is through the roof. I don't expect this to slow down. I think that the weeks ahead are still going to be just as volatile because you're going to continue to get news headlines around tariffs. You're going to continue to get, especially as you lead up to the April 2nd deadline, which is the reciprocal tariff deadline. That's going to be big. You know, you're talking about reciprocating a tariff on everything that's tariffed on us, and whatever that percentage is, we're gonna give it right back. Most countries have much higher tariffs on us than we have on them. So you're talking about, like, I always use this as an example because it's so insane. India has a 100% tariff on any U.S. made car. 100%. You think Cadillac is going to be able to sell cars in India with 100% tariff? Of course not. You think Ford's going to be pumping out F-150s in India with a 100% tariff? Of course not. Right? So come April 2nd, any tariff that another country has on us, we're going to put the exact same tariff on them. So you're going to get a lot of news headlines and a lot of negotiations, I think, leading up to April 2nd, which is going to create a ton of volatility in the market. You got to be ready for it. I am. The rest of our mods are. I know our members are. The question is, are you? If you want to be ready, cool. Send a text, 1-888-621-2127. That's it, folks. Great job today. Members, well done. You know, it was an exciting day. We'll see what happens with CPI. The moderators and I will be with you guys always in the pre-market session live to cover the analysis, to cover the CPI and go over what the numbers are and what's the market's reaction going to be and how we're going to make some money. We'll do that again tomorrow morning as we always do. So if you guys have not yet done so, smash that like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, make sure you guys never miss out on any of these live streams because we do drop golden nuggets on a regular basis. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And again, that phone number right down there at the bottom of your screen, text that number. We'll hook you guys up. All right. Excelente. Have a wonderful rest of your night, folks. Take care, everybody.